Convergence 2023 has some of the most varied teams across the world coming into India to participate in one of its own kind of season tournaments, which will give them an exposure to not only some of the most culturally instinctive fans across the world, but also some of the most loving ones who always love to see good Valorant. Now, coming here, of course, these teams are some of which who've never played against each other before and are going to be facing off each other for the first time, and even so with brand new rosters that have just been formed a couple of months ago. And I'm going to be talking about one player from each team that you need to look out for who could be the next big thing, hopefully in the upcoming season and also in Convergence. Let's get into it. MWZera from Furia. Now, I'm pretty sure a lot of us know here that MWZera is a naturally gifted Brazilian who has a talent of being one of the most respected and explosive duelists out there. His showcase last year for Furia was absolutely brilliant, as he was actually their best player on the server across the VCT Americas and any other competition that they played in. He actually has quite the skill set similar to Aspas, just a little bit less of the flair and consistency. MWZera has been working around with Furia for quite some time now, and him sticking on this roster I believe was a really good decision for them, and I believe that he will be a star for them at Convergence, as he is pretty much the engine of this train running forward. From FUT, Cxus. Cxus has been one of those players for FUT who stuck around for a really long time and has shown why he deserves to be in that playing field of this roster. A Turkish legend who's been here for so long that he has adapted onto almost every role possible and does quite the job at it as well. Cxus has quite the aim power, and he mixes it with his brain power to make some really smart plays, and he did so that in the previous season with multiple clutches to his name in the VCT MEA. He's one of the forefront reasons as to why FUT finished third in the VCT EMEA last season, when nobody actually even expected this team to end up in the top 5. From GenG, Lakia. Lakia is a player who was in Lakia last year, and he played in Ascension for them. And well, to be honest, Lakia did not impress anybody. We all know that. They were hailed as one of the favorites going into it, but they absolutely got demolished by the teams that they faced off and just could not hold on to their own. And in between all of this, there was one player who was actually doing pretty well for himself, and that is Lakia. His consistency of being the backbone of the team, not being too flashy but not being detrimental as well, was really good, as he was able to pull off plays that he knew that he could do with his patience and with his wit. Now, coming to GenG, he's finally coming back to Tier 1 after 2 years of a hiatus where he did not participate in Tier 1 or International Valorant for quite some time. He was on the Vision Strikers Infamous squad, but even there he was a 6th player and didn't get much playtime. But now he's made his way back to GenG, where he, I believe, will be one of the most crucial pivoting players for the squad, and I believe for GenG in this tournament he will be quite the pillar. From Global Esports, Blazer. Now, I'm pretty sure most of you would expect me to say Polvi here. Yes, Polvi is absolutely brilliant, and we've seen his skill set as well. His stats from his previous tournaments have been amazing as well. But I think that Blazer again is an epitome of pure Valorant basics, who knows how to play this game at an extraordinarily great level, who uses a lot of his skill set, not just his aim, but he knows how to make great use of his utility. He sets up his teammates, he sets up himself. He's extremely versatile. He also is a really good IGL. He's a strat caller. He can do secondary IGLing as well. So he's really good at what he does, and he was Boom's most important reason for them to get all the success that they did in the last 2 years. It's unfortunate that he could not do the best he could with Boom, qualifying to Ascension and then even getting through where they did really well. But Blazer as himself has been one of the most highly rated players from the entirety of Tier 2 APAC, and I believe that he will be shining the brightest for Global Esports at Convergence. From Vitality, it has to be Runner. Runner is a prodigy that Vitality picked up from the Tier 2 of EMEA, who absolutely was demolishing his competition in the Valorant Challengers East Surge Split 2. He played for Diamond Esports for almost a year, and he actually was undoubtedly their best player. His ratings were through the roof. He was among the top 7 players from the East Search Split 2 and also had the 4th highest ACS across the entire tournament. And now coming into this tournament, I believe that with his first international experience, this man is going to do quite some wonders. And finally, for True Rippers, has to be Disrupt. Disrupt absolutely is their best player currently, even though Deathmaker has shifted up his roles and he's doing really well as a Sentinel. I believe that in the current moment, Disrupt has been their main player because he single-handedly took them out of situations where they were extremely slippy in the Convergence India Open qualifiers, and I believe that he's got quite the talent to be among some of the best in the Pacific. And I think that even in this tournament, if True Rippers are able to stand on their ground and do as best as they can, it is going to be because Disrupt is going to be one of those pillars and lift them up. These are the 6 players that I think will be shining in Convergence this time. Who do you think? Let me know in the down comments below, and I will see you all at Convergence, ladies and gentlemen. Bye-bye.